Echoes of Willow Lane. In 1974, the Carver family's idyllic life in the serene coastal town of North Bayview, Rhode Island, is shattered when their young son, Ethan, vanishes without a trace. A vibrant community, endless beaches, and a peaceful neighborhood couldn't protect them from a chilling mystery. For 8 years, the Carvers searched tirelessly, haunted by the unknown, when a neighbor's shocking confession unravels the horrifying truth. The town is left reeling. What secrets lie hidden in the quiet streets of North Bayview? This gripping tale of loss, investigation, and justice will keep you on the edge of your seat. In 1974, the Carver family flourished in North Bayview, Rhode Island. This vibrant coastal haven boasted 12 miles of pristine beaches and sprawling parks. Crime was rare. The town's rich history drew families like the Carvers. Lillian and Thomas Carver, with their 3 children, Sophie, Ethan, and an older son, lived on Willow Lane. Their home sat on a hill, beside a fire station. A dense woodland stretched behind it. That forest, now partly cleared for houses, was once a playground for kids. Lillian and Thomas, young and devoted, cherished their tranquil life. Ethan, a lively 5-year-old, played with his brother and neighborhood friends. The Carvers' world seemed perfect, a slice of paradise. Yet, a shadow loomed. It threatened to shatter their happiness in ways they could never foresee. Curious detail: the woodland behind the Carver home concealed a secret for nearly a decade. On May 20th, 1974, Lillian Carver celebrated her 26th birthday. The day felt ordinary. Ethan and his older brother played in the woodland behind their North Bayview home. Lillian heard their laughter until 3 in the afternoon. Then, silence fell. She thought they were exploring. When Ethan's brother returned alone, panic surged. Lillian searched the backyard, calling Ethan's name. No answer. Thomas joined her. Neighbors rallied, combing the forest. Ethan, 5 years old, had vanished. The Carvers, heartbroken. They clung to hope. Perhaps he was lost. As dusk settled, they called North Bayview police. A desperate search began. It would span years. Lillian's joyful birthday turned into a nightmare. The family's life forever changed. Hidden clue: Ethan's brother couldn't recall when Ethan slipped away. A gap in the timeline persisted. Ethan Carver's disappearance shook North Bayview. Police launched a thorough search. They interviewed neighbors and scoured the woodland on Willow Lane. Volunteers swept parks, beaches, streets. No trace emerged. No shoes, no toys. Lillian and Thomas organized search parties. Flyers plastered Rhode Island. The Bayview Chronicle offered sparse coverage. Police details stayed vague. The Carvers' home, once joyful, echoed with grief. Officers questioned Ethan's playmates, including his brother. No one saw anything odd. Weeks became months. Hope dimmed. The Carvers pressed on. North Bayview, a beacon of safety, faced an unsettling truth. One of its own was gone. Rumors of foul play swirled. Without evidence, they remained whispers. Unsettling hint: a neighbor's overlooked comment would later unlock a vital lead. By 1982, the Carvers had searched for Ethan for 8 years. No clues surfaced, no witnesses, just silence. North Bayview, once a haven, felt stained. Lillian and Thomas, weary yet determined, continued their fight. Sophie, now a teenager, bore her brother's loss. The community, supportive at first, moved forward. The Carvers felt isolated. Police chased every tip. The trail stayed cold. The woodland where Ethan vanished was searched repeatedly. Nothing. Whispers of accidents or darker fates circulated. No answers came. The Carvers clung to fading hope, their lives defined by absence. In spring of 1982, a disturbing event involving a local teen shifted the case's path. Startling revelation: the answer to Ethan's fate lay across the street from the Carvers. In 1982, a chilling incident struck Willow Lane. Caleb Winters, a 14-year-old paperboy, delivered newspapers. A neighbor, Nathaniel Hayes, invited him inside. Nathaniel lived opposite the Carvers. He offered Caleb alcohol, luring him into his home. No one saw their exchange. Caleb later told the Coastal Gazette he grew drowsy after drinking. He could barely stay awake. Suddenly, Nathaniel attacked with a scarf, aiming to harm him. Caleb fought back. He escaped and ran home. He told his father. Enraged, Caleb's father confronted Nathaniel, striking him. He then flagged down police nearby. Officers took both to the station to investigate. As they questioned Nathaniel, suspicions grew. His evasive answers hinted at deeper secrets. Police wondered if he knew more about an old mystery. Troubling insight: Nathaniel's actions suggested ties to Ethan's 8-year vanishing. At North Bayview's police station, officers pressed Nathaniel Hayes about Caleb's attack. His nervous demeanor raised flags. One detective, sensing a link, gently shifted questions toward Ethan Carver's case. They treaded carefully. A spooked Nathaniel might clam up. To their shock, he spoke. He admitted seeing Ethan on May 20th, 1974, minutes before the boy vanished. More chillingly, he confessed to interacting with Ethan. Details stayed private. Nathaniel revealed he lured Ethan into his home. Police, stunned, uncovered a darker truth. His confession marked a breakthrough. The full scope of his actions loomed. Investigators braced for what lay ahead. The Carvers, unaware, awaited answers. Nathaniel's words reshaped a case dormant for years. Pivotal moment: Nathaniel's admission tied him to the day Ethan disappeared. Nathaniel Hayes was 16 in 1974, a teenager across from the Carvers. Despite his youth, he hid disturbing thoughts. Until that May day, they stayed buried. Police learned Nathaniel convinced Ethan to enter his home. How he gained trust remains unclear. Inside, Nathaniel's impulses erupted. He grabbed a kitchen knife. He attacked Ethan, ending the 5-year-old's life. The motive? A mystery locked in Nathaniel's mind. What followed was worse. Police withheld specifics to spare the Carvers. Nathaniel's confession, though partial, gave a lead. After 8 years, a breakthrough. Investigators faced a challenge: unravel his actions without breaking the family. The truth, emerging slowly, promised pain. North Bayview would never be the same. Shocking twist: Nathaniel, a teen, committed a crime that stunned North Bayview. During Nathaniel Hayes' interrogation, he grew anxious. He mentioned a notebook in his room. He claimed its contents were fictional. Police doubted him. They searched his home. They found the journal. Its pages detailed Ethan Carver's fate. The accounts shocked officers. Though kept confidential, the notebook described Nathaniel's actions after Ethan's death. To protect the Carvers, police shared little. The journal was no fantasy. It recorded real events. Investigators had evidence linking Nathaniel to Ethan's disappearance. The notebook hinted at something darker, something that would redefine the case's horror. The Carvers, unaware of the full truth, waited. Police deepened their probe. The journal's discovery shifted everything. Justice now seemed possible. But at what cost to the family? Haunting find: the notebook wasn't a diary. It mapped a crime's aftermath. Sophie Carver, now grown, later shared police insights about Nathaniel's notebook. Officers never showed it to her. They described its contents privately. The writings didn't just recount Ethan's death. They detailed what followed. Too grim for public release, Sophie revealed Nathaniel desecrated Ethan's remains. The motive stayed unclear. The act, deliberate. To hide his crime, Nathaniel cleaned Ethan's bones. He coated them in varnish. He kept them as keepsakes. Whether displayed or boxed, they were trophies. Police had evidence proving the journal's truth, not fiction. The Carvers faced a crushing reality. Their resilience tested. The investigation now aimed for justice. Without further devastating the family, North Bayview reeled. The journal's revelations turned a missing person case into a nightmare. Gruesome reality. Nathaniel's notebook unveiled a horror beyond imagination. Nathaniel Hayes's actions shattered the Carvers. Lillian and Thomas, hopeful for 8 years, faced a nightmare, worse than feared. Sophie, Ethan's sister, grappled with the horrific loss. Police, shielding the family, shared only necessary details. The journal's full horror stayed hidden. Investigators had evidence to charge Nathaniel. They worried about a trial's toll. The crime's graphic nature, plus Ethan's remains, risked breaking the Carvers. Officers met Thomas. They discussed options, a path to justice, sparing trauma. The community learned fragments of the truth. Outrage spread across North Bayview. The Carvers, drowning in grief, sought closure. Their strength wavered, yet they endured. Police vowed to balance justice with compassion. The town, united in anger, demanded accountability. Painful truth. The Carvers learned Ethan's fate. The details nearly broke them. Police offered Thomas Carver a plea deal. Avoid a grueling trial. Instead of first-degree murder, requiring journal evidence and Ethan's remains in court, they proposed second-degree murder. It ensured Nathaniel Hayes a 40-year sentence. It shielded the Carvers from reliving horrors. Thomas, torn, agreed. He wanted to protect his family. In 1982, Nathaniel was convicted. He went to prison. The Carvers, relieved, still carried grief. North Bayview, far from calm, buzzed with whispers. The crime's details leaked. Anger and distrust grew. The plea deal, meant to help, sparked debate. Justice was served, but controversy brewed. The community questioned the outcome. Was it enough? The Carvers, private, focused on healing. The town's unrest hinted at future trouble. Critical choice. Thomas's decision spared pain. It set the stage for discord. Nathaniel Hayes' conviction didn't soothe North Bayview. As crime details emerged, residents raged. A neighbor, a teenager, had betrayed their trust. Nathaniel, deemed dangerous, was sent to a Massachusetts prison. For his safety, Rhode Island law governed his sentence, including the good behavior rule. It cut 10 days per 30 days of good conduct. Sentences could shrink by a third. Meant for rehabilitation, it proved divisive. The Carvers, unaware of this law, sought peace. The community's anger simmered, ready to flare. Nathaniel's crime left scars. North Bayview's unity frayed. Residents felt betrayed. The plea deal's leniency stung. Questions arose. Would justice hold? The town, once serene, faced a reckoning. The good behavior rule loomed as a threat. Burning question. Would Nathaniel's sentence match the crime's weight? Nathaniel Hayes exploited Rhode Island's good behavior rule. Good conduct shaved days off his 40-year sentence. By 2011, he'd serve only 28 years. News broke. North Bayview erupted. Residents, scarred by Ethan's loss, felt cheated. A system seemed to favor a criminal. Some locals armed themselves, not for protection. They aimed to confront Nathaniel if he returned. Thomas Carver, blindsided, regretted the plea deal. A harsher charge might have kept Nathaniel locked up. Protests swept the town. The Coastal Gazette reported fury. Nathaniel's release loomed. Fear grew. He could walk free. The Carvers, especially Thomas, felt betrayed. The community's outrage swelled. A sense of injustice united them. North Bayview braced for his return, determined to act. Alarming development. Nathaniel's early release threatened North Bayview's peace. Thomas Carver, haunted, vowed action. If Nathaniel Hayes returned, Thomas swore to stop him, even by force. He felt responsible for the shortened sentence. The plea deal was his choice. Lillian and Sophie supported him. They feared for his safety. North Bayview rallied behind Thomas. Some echoed his resolve. Protests filled Rhode Island. The Coastal Gazette covered rising tensions. Locals prepared for Nathaniel's return. Thomas's guilt drove him. He tracked Nathaniel's status. He aimed to protect others. Ethan's fate fueled his mission. The community's anger amplified his cause. Thomas's vow became North Bayview's cry. His pain, a father's love, resonated. Would he act? Unclear. His resolve, unyielding. The Carvers' loss united a town against a shared foe. Fierce resolve. Thomas's promise fueled North Bayview's fight for justice. Protests raged. Nathaniel Hayes faced a choice. Returning to North Bayview was impossible. Threats were real. His safety at risk. In 2011, he agreed to confinement, a mental health facility. Crestwood Center in Cranston, Rhode Island. He'd stay for life. Now, in his 60s, Nathaniel knew freedom was gone. The Carvers, informed, had mixed feelings. Thomas doubted it was enough. Lillian and Sophie saw it as practical. North Bayview's residents, relieved, stayed vigilant. Nathaniel wouldn't return. Crestwood became his home, a compromise. It avoided violence. Questions lingered. Was justice? North Bayview never recovered fully. Once a coastal gem, it bore scars. Residents grew cautious. Trust in neighbors waned. The Carvers, still on Willow Lane, carried grief. Lillian and Thomas grew closer. Their bond forged in pain. Sophie, advocating for missing kids, found purpose. The woodland, partly cleared, haunted them. The Bayview Chronicle revisited the case sparingly. Details stayed private. The Carvers' wish. Protests showed strength. The innocence of 1974 vanished. A wary resilience emerged. North Bayview's beaches sparkled. Shadows lingered. The community, united, learned hard lessons. Safety became paramount. The Carvers' endurance inspired. Their pain, a shared wound. The town vowed to protect its own. Forever changed, but stronger. Lasting echo. North Bayview's beauty hit a town reshaped by loss. Ethan's case sparked debate. Nathaniel's 40-year sentence, cut to 28, exposed flaws. Rhode Island's good behavior rule drew fire. Many argued it shouldn't apply to grave crimes. Thomas regretted the plea deal. A trial might have ensured more time. Sophie, in a 2012 Coastal Gazette interview, urged reform. Victims' families deserved priority. Protests highlighted distrust. Nathaniel's Crestwood transfer eased tensions. It didn't erase betrayal. The Carvers questioned justice. Was confinement enough? North Bayview debated. A facility versus a cell. The system's balance, mercy versus accountability, faltered. Residents felt Ethan was failed. The case pushed reform talks. Laws tightened slowly. Justice, elusive, left scars. The town's anger reflected a deeper wound. Lingering doubt. Did Ethan's case deliver true justice for North Bayview? The Carvers showed resilience. Lillian found solace in community work. She helped grieving families. Thomas, driven by his vow, stayed devoted. He supported Sophie and her brother. Sophie advocated for child safety. She shared Ethan's story. The family remained in North Bayview, their home, a mix of joy and sorrow. They honored Ethan, a tree planted, charities supported. The community admired them. Many joined their efforts. The Carvers' unity inspired. Even in tragedy, hope endured. Nathaniel at Crestwood faded. The Carvers focused on healing. Ethan's memory lived on. North Bayview, marked by loss, rallied around them. Their strength, a beacon. The family proved love could outlast pain. A town lifted by their courage. Inspiring strength. The Carvers turned grief into hope for others. Ethan's case left a mark. Sophie worked with Rhode Island groups. She improved child safety laws. New protocols sped police response. Lives were saved. North Bayview schools taught safety. Kids learned vigilance. The community became proactive. Annual vigils honored Ethan. The Bayview Chronicle praised the shift. Lillian and Thomas backed Sophie. They found purpose. Nathaniel, confined, spurred action. Ethan's story spread nationally. It drove justice talks. His memory, tied to pain, fueled change. North Bayview's resolve grew. No family would suffer like the Carvers. Sophie's efforts gave meaning. A tragedy became a shield. The town, united, ensured Ethan's legacy protected kids. A painful loss, now a force for good. Enduring impact, Ethan's tragedy sparked reforms, safeguarding countless children. The woodland behind the Carvers, once vibrant, became a symbol. By 2011, houses replaced much of it. In 1974, it was dense. Investigators searched tirelessly. No trace of Ethan. Some believed clues hid there. A toy, a footprint. Nothing surfaced. Locals felt unease in the forest. No proof of the supernatural. The woodland's role stayed unclear. For the Carvers, the cleared land stung. Progress erased Ethan's playground. It buried pain. The community avoided lingering. They respected the Carvers' grief. The forest, diminished, witnessed tragedy. Its silence frustrated. North Bayview moved on. The Carvers carried the weight. The woodland, a quiet reminder. Ethan's laughter, forever lost. A town learned to guard its own. Mysterious absence. The forest never revealed Ethan's final moments. Before 1974, Nathaniel Hayes blended in. Neighbors on Willow Lane called him quiet, often alone. No one suspected darkness. School records showed no issues, no violence. During interrogation, Nathaniel hinted at hidden fantasies. He gave no details. Psychologists at Crestwood later suggested suppressed urges. Years in the making. The Carvers had no reason to suspect him. His normalcy chilled North Bayview. A neighbor hid evil. Investigators probed for other crimes. No evidence emerged. Nathaniel's past, like his motive, stayed locked. The town grappled with betrayal. How could he hide such thoughts? His facade, perfect. The community's trust, broken. Nathaniel's secrets left questions. North Bayview vowed vigilance, a lesson learned in pain. Enigmatic figure, Nathaniel's calm mask hid a mind of dark intent. Caleb Winter's encounter with Nathaniel Hayes changed everything. In spring of 1982, Caleb, 14, delivered papers. Nathaniel lured him with alcohol. Inside his home, Caleb grew drowsy. Nathaniel attacked with a scarf, intent on harm. Caleb's strength saved him. He fled. He told his father. Furious, his father struck Nathaniel. He alerted police nearby. Caleb's bravery exposed Nathaniel. The Coastal Gazette praised him. His escape led to Ethan's case breaking. The Carvers, grateful, later thanked Caleb. His story became a warning. Parents taught vigilance. Caleb, now grown, rarely speaks of it. His actions, heroic. North Bayview honored him. A teen's courage unraveled a mystery. The town, forever changed, learned from his survival. Heroic act, Caleb's escape saved him and unlocked a buried truth. North Bayview police handled Nathaniel Hayes' interrogation with skill. Suspecting more than Caleb's attack, they shifted focus, subtly, to Ethan Carver's case. Direct questions risked silence. They built trust. Tossed casual queries about 1974. Nathaniel spoke. He admitted seeing Ethan, interacting with him. Then, his role in the boy's fate. Detectives, stunned, cracked an 8-year mystery. The Coastal Gazette lauded their tact. Details stayed private. The Carvers, unaware, felt relief. Answers came. The police's restraint secured a confession. It spared the family immediate horror. The Journal's truth waited. Their approach balanced justice and care. A routine questioning became a triumph. North Bayview's police proved their mettle. The case turned on their patience. Strategic win. Subtle questioning turned a cold case hot. Nathaniel Hayes' notebook was more than evidence. It revealed a twisted mind. Found in his room, it detailed Ethan's fate. Officers, horrified, kept it secret. They shared fragments with the Carvers. Sophie later spoke of its accounts. Nathaniel desecrated Ethan's remains. He preserved bones as trophies. The journal wasn't fiction. It was truth. At Crestwood, Nathaniel dodged questions. Experts speculated. Confession or keepsake? The journal haunted North Bayview. Rumors spread. What else hid? The Carvers, especially Lillian, wanted it forgotten. It symbolized Ethan's pain. Residents grew wary. The notebook's shadow lingered, a relic of horror. Its secrecy protected the family. It left the town uneasy. A crime's impact etched in ink. Dark relic. The notebook's words reshaped North Bayview's sense of safety. After Nathaniel's conviction, North Bayview changed. Parents guarded kids closely. Neighbors eyed strangers. The case showed evil's disguise. Trust eroded. Community meetings grew frequent. Safety was key. The Bayview Chronicle reported watch programs. Inspired by Ethan's loss, schools taught stranger danger. Police patrolled Willow Lane. The Carvers, private, backed these steps. Sophie spoke at events. Protests forged unity. Now, prevention ruled. Nathaniel, at Crestwood, faded. Residents stayed alert. No family would endure the Carvers' pain. Vigilance became strength. North Bayview, once carefree, learned hard truths. The community, united, protected its own. A tragedy's lesson, carved deep. The town's resolve, unyielding. Watchful eyes. North Bayview's caution became its strongest defense. The plea deal for Nathaniel Hayes had ripples. Meant to spare a trial, it left Thomas guilty. He believed it enabled Nathaniel's early release. Lillian and Sophie urged healing. The community felt robbed. Nathaniel deserved life, they argued. 2011 protests demanded reform. The Coastal Gazette covered calls to end leniency. Residents targeted the good behavior rule. The Carvers stayed quiet. Their pain, private. The deal, once compassionate, divided. Justice versus mercy. North Bayview's anger grew. Ethan was let down. The system faltered. Protests showed a town's resolve. The plea deal's fallout lingered. A community questioned fairness. The Carvers' loss fueled change. Reform loomed, slow but steady. Divisive choice. The plea deal's leniency sparked a cry for justice. Thomas Carver's vow defined him. He swore to stop Nathaniel Hayes. If he returned, Thomas would act. He blamed himself for the plea deal. It shortened Nathaniel's time. Lillian worried for Thomas. His obsession risked harm. Sophie sought legal paths. The community admired him. Some offered aid. 2011 protests echoed his cause. The Coastal Gazette reported his resolve. Thomas tracked Nathaniel. He aimed to protect. Ethan's loss drove him. His mission? A father's love. North Bayview rallied. Would he act? Unclear. His commitment, iron. The Carver's pain became the town's fight. Thomas's vow, a symbol. A community united against evil. Driven purpose, Thomas's pledge kept Ethan's cause alive. Lillian Carver anchored the family. Less vocal than Thomas, she shone. She volunteered, aiding grieving parents. The Coastal Gazette praised her warmth. Lillian focused on Ethan's joy, not Nathaniel. She tended a garden, Ethan's favorite flowers. With Thomas driven, Lillian grounded them. She supported Sophie's work. Neighbors left flowers at their gate. Lillian's strength showed healing was possible. Her courage balanced Thomas's fire. The community admired her. She honored Ethan quietly. Her garden, a private tribute. Lillian's love endured loss. North Bayview drew hope from her. Her legacy understated. A family's rock shining through pain. Lillian proved grace could triumph. Steadfast spirit, Lillian's garden bloomed, a symbol of hope. Sophie Carver became a force. By 2012, she spoke statewide. She pushed child safety laws. Her work sped police response. Lives saved. The Bayview Chronicle called her Ethan's voice. Sophie shared his story, not for pity, for education. Parents taught kids caution. She thanked Caleb Winters. His role broke the case. Sophie's poise inspired. She led vigils. Ethan's memory thrived. Thomas sought confrontation. Sophie chose reform. Systemic change, her path. Her efforts gave meaning. A tragedy turned to good. North Bayview cheered her. The community joined her cause. Sophie's voice rose. A sister's love, driving change. Ethan's loss, now purpose. Powerful legacy. Sophie's work transformed grief into a movement. The Bayview Chronicle shaped Ethan's story. In 1974, coverage was light. Media reach limited. By 1982, Nathaniel's confession drew restraint. The Carver's privacy respected. In 2011, the Chronicle fueled protests. It exposed the good behavior rule. Editorials pushed reform. Sophie's advocacy gained traction. The paper praised Caleb's bravery. Lillian's work shone. Ethan's case stayed alive. Some criticized early silence. The Chronicle became a force. It urged vigilance. Archives held the town's shift, from innocence to strength. North Bayview's voice amplified. The paper ensured Ethan's legacy. A community's resolve documented. The Chronicle's role vital. Vital record. The Chronicle's shift drove North Bayview's call for change. Rhode Island's good behavior rule sparked debate. It cut Nathaniel's sentence. 10 days off per 30 days of good conduct. Rehabilitation, the goal. Misapplied to Ethan's case, many said. Protests demanded its end. For violent crimes, the Coastal Gazette reported reform bills. Sophie backed them. Critics saw it favoring offenders. Supporters argued reform incentives. Thomas felt betrayed. The rule undermined justice. 2011 protests raged. Signs decried leniency. The Carver's pain fueled change. The rule stayed. Oversight tightened. The debate reshaped laws. Mercy versus accountability. North Bayview's anger showed system flaws. Ethan's case drove reform. Slow but real. Contentious law. The rules' leniency ignited a push for fairness. Crestwood Center in Cranston housed Nathaniel Hayes. From 2011, a mental health facility. It confined him safely, away from North Bayview. Staff monitored closely. The Coastal Gazette noted Crestwood's expertise. Nathaniel's treatment, private. The Carvers, mixed. Thomas wanted more punishment. Lillian and Sophie saw practicality. Residents, relieved, questioned. A facility, enough? Crestwood quelled unrest. It didn't erase pain. Nathaniel, elderly, stayed isolated. His crime, a memory. The center balanced justice. Safety, the town's demand. North Bayview moved on. Vigilant, always. Crestwood held Nathaniel. A life sentence, in spirit. The Carvers focused elsewhere. Practical refuge. Crestwood confined Nathaniel. Justice, debated still. Thomas Carver's guilt lingered. The plea deal haunted him. He believed it freed Nathaniel early, endangering others. The Coastal Gazette quoted his regret. A trial might have locked Nathaniel longer. His vow strained Lillian. She urged peace. Sophie mediated. Thomas stayed firm. He joined community talks. He pushed stricter laws. Neighbors respected him. Some worried. His fixation isolated him. Closure eluded. The Carvers' home, tense. Thomas's promise shaped him. Ethan's memory drove every step. His pain a system's flaw. North Bayview admired his fight. A father's love unyielding. Would he find peace? Unclear. Thomas carried Ethan's loss, always. Heavy burden. Thomas's regret fueled a relentless quest. North Bayview reshaped itself. Once carefree, it grew vigilant. Ethan's loss sparked change. Neighborhood watches thrived. Willow Lane patrolled. Schools taught safety. Parents held tight. The Bayview Chronicle noted vigils. Ethan's Park, dedicated in 2012. Sophie's advocacy strengthened efforts. The community united. No child would vanish. Innocence faded. Purpose rose. Residents protected their own. The Carvers' strength inspired. A park, vigils, reform. North Bayview balanced beauty, duty. The Coastal Gazette praised unity. A tragedy forged resilience. The town, scarred, stood tall. Ethan's case proved strength. A community reborn in pain. United front. Ethan's loss turned North Bayview into a guardian town. Sophie Carver's advocacy soared. By 2015, she spoke nationally. Ethan's story pushed reform. She worked with missing kids groups. Federal guidelines sped response. The Coastal Gazette hailed her. Sophie moved lawmakers. Funding grew for safety. She avoided Nathaniel's name. Prevention her focus. North Bayview hosted fundraisers. Lillian and Thomas, proud, joined events. Sophie's work gave Ethan's death meaning. Lives saved. Her poise shone. Grief became action. Residents cheered. Sophie's influence spread. A sister's love, national. Ethan's legacy protected kids. Her voice, a beacon for families. North Bayview's pride, boundless. Broad reach, Sophie carried Ethan's memory to the nation's core. The Carvers honored Ethan quietly. Lillian tended a garden. Ethan's flowers bloomed. Thomas carved a wooden bird. It sat by the garden. Sophie wrote private letters to Ethan, kept in a box. The Bayview Chronicle shared these acts. They gave solace. The Carvers avoided the forest's remnants, now houses. They visited Ethan's Park yearly. Nathaniel, unspoken. Ethan's life, cherished. Their older son joined silently. Rituals grounded them. Lillian's grace, Thomas's fire. Neighbors left tokens. The Carvers' love endured. North Bayview respected their space. Private acts profound. A family's bond unbreakable. Ethan's memory alive in quiet moments. Tender tribute. The Carvers' garden grew, a living ode to Ethan. At Crestwood Center, Nathaniel Hayes faded. By 2020, in his 60s, he stayed quiet. The Coastal Gazette reported little. Staff noted compliance. He avoided Ethan's case. The Journal untouched. Psychologists saw unresolved issues. His silence, a barrier. North Bayview had no access. The Carvers monitored. Thomas watched. Lillian and Sophie moved on. Residents forgot him. Anger cooled. Crestwood security held. Nathaniel isolated. His crime, a faint scar. The town, vibrant. Let him fade. Ethan's legacy thrived. Nathaniel's story, quiet. A life locked away. Ethan's case drew media. The Bayview Chronicle led locally. In 2011, the National Observer covered Nathaniel's release. Documentaries aired on True Crime TV. The Carvers declined interviews. Sophie's choice. Specials avoided journal specifics. Respecting the family. Social media spread #Justice for Ethan. Protests gained traction. The Coastal Gazette noted reform pressure. Media kept Ethan alive. Some criticized hype. North Bayview valued awareness. It deterred crime. Coverage balanced privacy, impact. The case shaped memory. A local tragedy, national. The Chronicle's archives held truth. Media ensured Ethan's legacy. A town's lesson, amplified. Amplified voice. Media turned Ethan's story into a national cry. The woodland behind the Carvers held no answers. Searched in 1974, it gave nothing. No clothes, no struggle. By 2011, houses stood there. Locals wondered. Clues missed? Police found none. The Coastal Gazette noted eerie tales. No proof. The forest's role, a mystery. The Carvers felt loss. Lillian avoided it. Thomas saw failure. Sophie focused forward. The woodland frustrated. Ethan's final steps unclear. Residents shunned the space, once enchanting, now cautionary. Secrets, if any, gone. North Bayview learned vigilance. The forest, a silent witness. Ethan's laughter, lost forever. The town guarded its children. Lost enigma. The forest kept Ethan's last moments hidden. Every May 20th, North Bayview held a vigil. Started in 1983, it filled Ethan's park. The Bayview Chronicle reported hundreds. Candles lit, stories shared. Sophie spoke, tying Ethan to safety. Lillian and Thomas, quiet, attended. The Coastal Gazette covered unity. The vigil, a ritual, remembrance and resolve. It marked North Bayview's shift. Innocence to vigilance. Attendance grew. Kids learned Ethan's story. The event healed wounds. It strengthened bonds. The Carvers, bittersweet, joined. Ethan's legacy shone. North Bayview, united, ensured his memory. A town's love, eternal. No child forgotten. Shared memory. Vigils united North Bayview for a lost boy. The Carvers stayed tied to North Bayview. Lillian's work with families earned praise. The Coastal Gazette lauded her. Thomas coached kids' sports. Sophie led safety talks. Neighbors left flowers, notes, aid for Ethan's park. Their older son ran a business, quietly giving. The Carvers' resilience inspired. Symbols of endurance. Vigils deepened ties. The family welcomed all. Their openness united. North Bayview's loyalty shone. A town healed together. The Carvers, beloved, anchored community. Their loss shared. Their strength, a bond. Ethan's case forged unity. Love outlasted pain. Deep bonds. The Carvers' ties grew through shared sorrow. Ethan's case drove change. Sophie's work birthed Ethan's Law in 2013. Rhode Island mandated fast response. The Coastal Gazette cited lives saved. Sophie's push reached nationally. Federal training grew. Schools taught safety. North Bayview's watches, models. The Bayview Chronicle credited the Carvers. Lillian's support. Thomas's voice. Reforms gave Ethan purpose. Residents took pride. Ethan's legacy protected. A tragedy, now strength. The Coastal Gazette noted global reach. Safety programs spread. Ethan's Law, a shield. North Bayview's story, a beacon. Reform honored Ethan. Lives saved, his gift. Lasting change. Ethan's Law guarded kids nationwide. Nathaniel Hayes' journal stayed hidden. Police guarded the Carvers' peace. Its full contents, secret. Sophie learned summaries. She shared little. The Coastal Gazette reported sparingly. The notebook detailed Ethan's fate, too grim to share. It secured Nathaniel's conviction. Its weight lingered. At Crestwood, Nathaniel ignored it. Experts theorized, his mindset unclear. Rumors of other crimes, no proof. The Carvers wanted it gone. It symbolized pain. North Bayview wondered, what hid? The journal locked away. A relic of horror. Its secrecy spared the family. The town, uneasy, moved on. Veiled horror, the journal's words held a dark truth. By 2015, North Bayview redefined itself. Beaches drew tourists. Resilience defined locals. Ethan's Park, vigils, programs marked change. The Bayview Chronicle noted pride. Visitors joined vigils. Tourism met remembrance. Watches, school programs thrived. The Coastal Gazette reported less crime. Unity worked. Innocence gone. Purpose born. Residents inspired, protected. North Bayview balanced beauty, duty. A town scarred, shone. Ethan's story drew strength. The community. Reborn. A legacy of care. The Coastal Gazette called it renewed. Tragedy forged identity. North Bayview forever strong. Bold spirit. Pain birthed North Bayview's enduring strength. The Carvers aged gracefully. Lillian, in her 60s, tended her garden. Peace bloomed. Thomas softened focused family. His vow, a quiet echo. Sophie, advocating, raised kids. Ethan's memory, alive. Their older son, private, supported. The Coastal Gazette noted vigils. The Carvers, present, comforted. They spoke of Ethan's joy, not loss. North Bayview guarded them. Their home, enduring. Love marked their years. Ethan, honored daily. The community's love, steadfast. The Carvers, strong, showed healing. A family unbroken by pain, enduring love. The Carvers' strength lifted a town. Nathaniel Hayes faded at Crestwood. By 2020, in his 60s, he stayed silent. The Coastal Gazette reported calm. Staff noted compliance. Ethan, unmentioned. The journal, ignored. Psychologists saw issues. His silence, a wall. North Bayview forgot him. Anger faded. Crestwood held firm. Nathaniel, isolated. His crime, a scar. The town thrived. Ethan's legacy shone. Nathaniel's tale, quiet. A life confined. The Carvers moved forward. North Bayview, strong, endured. A dark chapter. Closed. Silent end. Nathaniel's confinement sealed a grim tale. Ethan Carver's memory outlasted pain. Vigils, Ethan's Park, Sophie's reforms kept him. The Bayview Chronicle, in 2020, called him the town's changer. Kids learned his story. Safety taught. Lillian's garden, Thomas's bird, Sophie's letters, Love's relics. The Carvers' private, joined vigils. Ethan's wall saved lives. The Coastal Gazette noted global impact. Programs spread. Ethan's loss, a force. North Bayview ensured his light. A town united, remembered. Love triumphed. Ethan's laughter, eternal. His legacy, a gift. Timeless honor. Ethan's tragedy became a force for good. North Bayview learned deeply. Ethan's loss taught vigilance. Unity, action's power. Sophie's reforms, Lillian's care, Thomas's resolve. Individuals drove change. The Bayview Chronicle in 2025 praised safety. Ethan's Park, vigils thrived. The Journal plea deal faded. Residents passed lessons. The Coastal Gazette called North Bayview reborn. Ethan's pain forged strength. A town balanced beauty, purpose. No child forgotten. Love, vigilance, healed. North Bayview's scars. A legacy. A community unbreakable. Final wisdom. Scars birthed North Bayview's unyielding spirit.